welcome to the Wrestling Fan, the Wrestling Show. I'm the big beefy boy, Shaz Beef, and today I'm just joined by one Mark, Niall Marcy. Morro, how are you? We're like a tag team ourselves.
We are a tag team.
Yes.
What's our topic today?
Oh, but tag teams.
Tag teams.
Where the fuck is everyone else?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dump is on holidays, I believe.
I believe so. Hopefully this is released after he came back so nobody robs his house.
True.
Yeah. Maybe
Johnny March is doing something mysterious.
He's a mysterious fellow.
He is a
He's
mysterious
like Peter
character.
Andre's girls. Very mysterious. But yes, it's very appropriate that the two of us shall be here and talking about tag teams. Because if I was to have a tag team with anybody, it'd be with you, Morro.
Definitely out of the other four. Or out of the four of us,
Yeah.
we'd be the tag team.
Yeah, we would definitely be the tag team. We'd be like Bear Country.
Yeah, Bear Country. Well, I was kind of hoping APA, Bear Country, one of those, you know.
I kind of want to be Bradshaw if we're APA.
I can. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll take it. But we want to discuss tag teams today because obviously everybody has their own favorite one.
Yes.
For their own different reasons and whatever they may be, everyone has a stable tag team probably in their mind of what they think is the greatest. Tag team wrestling for the longest time was completely disregarded under Vince McMahon's regime, and I kind of understand why, and I'll get into that in a bit. But when you want to get into tag teams, like where do you start? Do you start off like who you personally enjoy? What is the best tag team? Like, you don't want to just get into that debate that everybody gets into, and it's the Road Warriors, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they have all these accolades and all.
There has to be nuance to it.
Yeah.
There has to be an understanding on why you are picking that as the quintessential tag team.
Yeah, like, and it has a lot to do with like two things. I think, like, I have a list of like nostalgia tag teams that we grew up on that maybe mightn't hold up to standards of today, but then, you know, you have a deep connection with because you turned on Superstars on a Saturday morning in 1992, and
there was the natural disasters.
there was the natural disaster.
That's exactly what I was thinking of there.
You know, something like that, and that's a connection that, like, John Tenta was awesome, but, like, you know, that's a connection that has stayed with you for however 20 years, 25 years, and they mightn't have been the best tag team. Like, you take the Rockers, for example. Like, what accolades do they have?
They have none. But you remember them. I was going to use that, say, the natural disaster versus the Brainbusters.
Yes.
When you're a kid, you don't give a fuck about the Brainbusters. No. You don't care about Tully Blanchard and Aaron Anderson.
No.
And you don't care about Aaron Anderson's history with Ole and the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, all that stuff. You care about the big guys who dress the same and are bouncing around the ring.
Exactly.
Nasty Boys. Natural disasters.
Boys, another great example.
Bushwhackers.
Like, and he do, like, we made a joke about Bushwhacker Luke on the WhatsApp during the week with his 1 second or 2 second Royal Rumble exit.
He follows us on Instagram.
Stop.
Yeah.
Shout out Bushwhacker Luke.
Boom, boom, boom.
Like, and you even go back to them as the sheep herders. You know, like, they've done it all. They came in and they played the WWF game of
being cartoons.
Yeah, being cartoons, changing their style, not being these two, like, outback,
animalistic,
like
fuckers,
bloodbaths and all that kind of stuff. But, like, again, you remember, like, the one thing about even under Vince, particularly in that, like, late 80s, early 90s, the tag division was super cartoonish, but also very memorable, which I don't think later Vince periods had. Yeah,
well, like, even, like, you look at the pairings of Akeem and the Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
Like, two big, colourful men that, you know, kind of just look like a tag team.
Like, how did they fit together in kayfabe?
But they were just so big that they were like, that's a tag team. Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah, like, so I got real excited about this when we were talking about, let's do a tag team one. And I did extensive research, I would say.
Okay.
By my own standards.
You watched a lot of wrestling.
I watched a shitload of wrestling. And I had issues with my work laptop today, and I couldn't actually do any work. So what did I do?
Sure you did.
I watched 9 hours of tag team wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
Like, professional.
Where did you start? Did you start back at the 80s?
I started back in the 80s. So what I did, and I had this idea then about 4 hours in, I was like, I need to categorize these.
Okay.
Right. So
I like this. Preparation,
right? I've never prepared for any of these before. Really. Like,
no,
I was going
you
off.
just come in, you chat wrestling.
That's it. Let's come in and chat wrestling. And, I like chatting wrestling, but I got inspired today. So I broke them into eras, kind of eras, but eras of like, as it pertains to my wrestling fandom.
Okay.
So I went with like the pre-footage era. These like great.
Well, how the fuck did you spend 9 hours watching wrestling and you got to a pre-footage era?
So
There's no footage of it.
this is my point, right? So you hear of all these tag teams, great tag teams from like back in the day, Pat Patterson, Ray Stevens.
Mhm.
I've never seen them. Like, I assume they're great because anyone who has seen them has said they're great.
Were they great though?
I don't know.
Were they great,
I
though?
can't,
You know what I mean?
judge.
Like, there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, 1970s wrestling. When you go down to the, you're like,
Yeah,
shut the
all
fuck
right.
up.
And like, yeah, I
Shut
could have
the fuck
gone
up.
probably down a mad rabbit hole of looking for a Pat Patterson, Ray Stevens pro wrestling match today. I didn't. So I just categorized like a certain era before my time as, right, I'm assuming they're great, but they're not really going to come into our overall conversation today.
No, not at
because,
all.
like,
So they can't be included in our mind as the greatest tag team of all
What
time.
I don't
because
want is some
fucking
absolute mark nerd commenting
We are
under
nerds.
going, we're nerds, like. But there's some bigger nerds than us out there.
Oh, the Valiant Brothers.
Yeah,
Like the Valiant Brothers, I'm sure were awesome. I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything. So then I went into like the 80s, which would have been tag teams that I've seen a little bit of, or in some cases a lot of, but it was always in retrospect, hindsight. It was never like I didn't witness them firsthand.
So you're talking about Bulldogs,
British Bulldogs,
Killer Bees,
Midnight Express,
Heart Foundation.
Fantastics. I've seen. I'm old enough to have
yeah,
seen like when
I'm talking about Heart Foundation, like really early with the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
kind
Like
of-
I didn't see.
that
Like I would
iteration.
have seen the Heart Foundation versus like maybe like Demolition and
Yeah, see, the Heart Foundation, well, they technically still kept going until like 97 anyway.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
you know,
But like that iteration of the Heart Foundation, that's like the iconic version of
yeah.
it. You know,
Or, the US Express in 1985.
Yeah.
They weren't around for that long.
I would say what
Wyndham
US
and
Express
Rotunda.
did 2 years maybe.
You had what, Martel and Tito Santana.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the Dream Team. No, the Dream Team was Greg
Strike
Valentine.
Force?
Strike Force, yeah.
Strike Force.
Dream Team was Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake.
Yes.
You also...
But even like if you go over to like the WCW, Jim Crockett Promotions, or like the Southern Independence, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, the Fantastics,
the Express,
the Express,
I don't
the
know.
Early Afternoon Express,
the Orient Express.
There was an
There
Orient
wasn't, I
Express.
know that,
yeah. And like, again, I've seen.
But well, if you go, we're slagging off kind of fucking marks, but maybe I'm jumping the gun on tag teams, but I have been going back. I've been watching a lot of WCCW.
Yeah, same.
And you're looking at the Von Erichs and
Yeah.
you're looking at the Freebirds.
The Fabulous Freebirds. I have seen like two of the kind of probably the most iconic, probably the two most iconic tag teams of the 80s would be the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express. And it's only really in recent years that I've gone back and watched either of those in action.
Right.
And like, yes, they are awesome. Like they generate Rock and Roll Express, the absolute like baby face, like hysteria that they generate amongst the crowds, unbelievable. The heat that the Midnight Express got, unbelievable.
See, what I can't stand, and I know this is going to sound really superficial, is that in my mind they never really changed. Like the Rock, I was looking at videos of Smoky Mountain Wrestling recently,
Yeah.
and the Rock and Roll Express
Like, that would have
were
been
still
8 to 10 years after their peak. Like,
Ricky Martin's still rocking the haircut. He's
Yeah.
still
He's
rocking
still
the
doing it
haircut now.
Yeah.
Bobby Eaton, when he was with the Dangerous Alliance, he
Yeah.
kind of never really changed. And I know that was only a few years after.
It's probably still 7 years after like their, let's say, tag team peak in the 80s. And like, yeah, I appreciate those. I know they're brilliant. I've seen it in a fair bit, not huge amounts. But then, when you're going back in time and watching stuff, it's really hard with the way the network is set up and jumping in and out of YouTube to watch things chronologically.
Yeah.
And to kind of feel that excitement you would have got at the time. So really, for me, when we're categorizing great tag teams or our own greatest tag teams,
Yeah.
I kind of focused on like mid 90s to mid 2000s stuff that I would have watched at the time.
Thank fucking Christ. I thought you were going to say, and nowadays, because the Young Bucks.
Oh no, that was my next category.
You fucking...
Well, I call that like the modern era. And not because of the Young Bucks. I just think they're...
So are you ruling out the Von Erichs?
No, I'm not ruling out the Von Erichs.
No, you just did. Wait, what with the new Von Erichs? You've ruled them out.
I've seen them once.
They're in the modern era
I've
now.
seen them once.
No, but you're ruling out the Von Erichs.
I'm not ruling them out.
You're ruling out the Freebirds?
I love the Freebirds.
See, I love the Freebirds because I used to have tapes
yeah.
of WCW back in the day. I used to watch mainly WCW back in when I
First.
was when like 96.
Yeah.
But I know that but before then I would have had like little various tapes of events. I think Great American Bash, the one that with Sting, Freebirds could have been on that one. So like I would have known some of those tag teams that you were probably ruling out as of now because I got to watch a few tapes growing up. They were almost side by side the WWF tapes that I got to watch. If you
at
get
the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there, we're talking about like while I would have been watching late Heart Foundation, Legion of Doom in WWF, Steiners in WWF, you would have been getting tapes of.
I would have watched that as well, but
alongside a similar time frame, getting the WCW stuff,
the Steiners and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Steiners like fucking awesome,
like an amazing tag team.
In both WCW and WWF and Japan as well.
Probably should have split up, but then again, maybe that was in hindsight as well because I would have been very young.
Oh yeah, I would have been like 5, 6.
Great
7,
American
like.
Bash in 1990. I wouldn't have even been one. So the tapes that I had were like 4 or 5 years. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I was growing up learning about these things at the same time. These two different companies.
I had this. Do you know, like companies used to bring out these like books at the end of each year?
Yeah.
What would it be called? I don't even know what type of book that's called.
An annual.
An annual. It is an annual. I asked my father, get me a wrestling book or whatever, you know, and he comes back with, and I was like solely like WWF, you know, it was like 93, 94. He comes back with this like 1994 WCW annual.
You're like, who the fuck are these guys?
But it had the history of each title in it, you know, the Roll of Honor, the lineage of each title. And I was reading all these tag teams, and I think probably at the time of
who
that,
the fuck is Terry Funk?
Yeah, who's this Terry Funk guy?
Who's this Terry?
He shows up 25 times. Who the fuck is Ric Flair?
Yeah, was he playing a funk band? Stupid fucks.
Yeah, what's his gimmick? A funker?
Yeah. Flash. No, there's only one funk to me, and that's Flash.
Funk. There's another real colourful one. I don't know. What was On Heart and Coco Beware?
High Energy.
High Energy, man. Like
we're kind of jumping all over the place.
We are. We're all over the
map.
Right.
So you just wanted to set the parameters of
not even like again.
Stuff that our age demographic would know.
Yes, or would have first-hand experience of.
Yes, so we're not saying these are the quintessential greatest tag teams. These are our own greatest tag teams, right? Okay,
the ones that I feel like I'm in a position to accurately judge.
You're talking about the ones then that stand out as a kid, ones that you maybe would have followed for years.
Yeah,
it's almost like an open and shut debate. Then it's the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, more appropriately. Those Hasbros are iconic. You know, where the shoulder pads are unbelievable. The face paint, growing up as a kid.
92 Wembley entrance on the motorbikes.
Legion of Doom were badass. And not only that, but they were around for the Attitude Era as well.
Yeah.
And they were in WCW. Now, a different form of it, but there was the Legion of Doom growing up. Going up until Animal fucking was there in, 05? With him and Heidenreich?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it was terrible. But like...
It's still Legion of Doom.
It's still, and wrestling is great because you have this embedded history kind of still to this day that you can always call back on.
Yeah.
You can, like Edge talked about, I wanted at WrestleMania, I wanted to call back with Gangrel.
Yeah.
But WWE didn't want to do it because people wouldn't remember. Well, we fucking remember.
Was it Moxley and Claudio did the entrance recently with the, pretty recently, with the Legion of Doom shoulder pads.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
You know,
that didn't look badass at all, but
I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, but
it's not Legion of Doom.
You're a Mox bitch.
I love Mox.
Yeah, I knew it.
How do you not love Mox? Mox.
Well, nah.
Mox.
No, we're talking about tag team wrestling.
Okay, sorry,
right? I'll get into my Mox debate with ye little Mox marks another time.
Who else is a Mox mark?
Johnny Mort's
I'm gonna
fucking
text
love.
him. I'm gonna text
He
him
loved
tomorrow.
Kingston, actually. He loves
I
Eddie
love Eddie
Kingston.
Kingston as
Oh,
well,
man.
yeah.
Those two fucking promos. You know the promos where they're like, the table's on fire and they're drinking shots and they're trying to be badass. I'm like, you seen a fucking 80s movie back in the day. This is what you think is being badass. Oh, because you do this. Oh, yeah, you're getting angry.
Yeah, that thing.
Fuck you,
That
man.
thing doesn't. I don't like that shoulder head.
Yeah, shut up, man.
That's weird.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the Legion
yeah.
of Doom.
Well,
But-
Mox and Kingston have tag teams. They're not on my list. They're not on my list.
fuck you, Morrow.
They're not on my list.
It's on nobody's list.
No, it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. Of course it's not. But Road Warriors, they also had just, I think, I would argue, even though people say that they're rip-offs, just as an iconic
Demolition.
yeah.
Yeah, they are a rip-off. And like, by God, they went hardcore on the BDSM.
Yeah, but why are they rip-offs? They had an
Well,
iconic...
Vince wanted his
Powers
own
of
version.
Pain. Powers of Pain. Are they
Yeah.
not the Road Warriors?
They should have been.
Yeah, are they not the Road Warrior rip-offs? Like, if you look at... Everyone wore face paint back then, right?
Yeah.
So, not
You know,
everyone,
it was the
but like,
80s.
it was a big thing. But you look at Action Smash, like, they have their own iconic badass look as well.
It's different enough from
Sexy.
right.
They got a little sexy look.
If you want to go to Berlin on holidays,
Yeah.
you fire ahead.
Yeah, let's bring them from Action Smash and
you
get
know,
some
the-
crush up in there.
The leather thing doesn't
Did it for me as a kid.
did it
Oh, man, yeah.
like that. Yeah, give me
No, but
that
yeah, like
leather.
I there's a toyetic. That's the term that Mark Cardona uses. If they come across and they look like they'd be cool toys. Action Smash were cool fucking toys.
They were, yeah. I had
The
them.
Road Warriors
I had
were
the old
cool
Hasbro
toys.
ones. Yeah,
Natural Disasters, cool toys.
very cool as well.
Bushwhackers, fucking cool toys.
Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys, yeah, have those too. And
Cool.
they're like the iconic tag teams from that era. When Hard Foundation, you have the Rockers as well.
Yeah, like, you know, because Heart Foundation, yes, I think probably me and you got kind of the tail end of the Heart Foundation and the Rockers, because Brett and Sean were, when we were like whatever 5, 6, 7, 8, they start. That's when their singles run started.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I'm harping on the toys
Yeah,
because they're probably my earliest memories.
the ties themselves.
The toys
Yeah.
themselves, as opposed to watching particular wrestling.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard to remember matches from back then.
I did have
ones,
a
you know?
shit ton of Hasbros and I had a few Galoobs, you know, the WCW ones.
Yeah.
I did have, but like most of them were fucking Hasbros, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan,
Big
Bruce
Boss
Barber,
Man.
Beefcake. You know, but they're all colorful looking.
Yeah,
ones,
yeah.
you
Every
know what I
single
mean?
one of them was unique. Like,
Yeah. Whereas you look at like tag teams nowadays, they all, a lot of them seem to wear dark colors.
every tag team.
Yeah, they don't really seem to stand out.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, like, you know, I know like FTR were real smart with the kind of jackets.
Yeah, but they just went retro.
Yeah, but it was smart because they added something different that other
That's
tag
why
teams
I,
weren't doing.
that's why I really like Bear Country. They looked a bit different.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
true.
I liked Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, I
when
liked
it was-
War, or when were the War Raiders.
The Viking Raiders
yeah.
or Viking Experience.
Viking experience.
But I like
I like them because, again, they had a look and looked unique and felt different.
Mm.
They felt like a throwback to like, you know, the tag teams we grew up on.
But the gimmicked tag teams, maybe it's a sign of the times and things were changing. Things did kind of change then because it seemed that the iconic tag teams were gone for a while.
Yeah, that's
And
what
yet-
I wanted to talk about, because like you go right up to like say 1988 to 94, 95-ish maybe.
You had
at a
Money Inc.
stretch.
there as well.
Oh, I love Money Inc. I was looking at the Ted DiBiase Hasbro up there.
Yeah, look, we had a
Yeah,
little Ted DiBiase Hasbro.
right there. And I was like, yeah, Money Inc. Like the kind of the iconic, or at least the look of tag teams disappeared in the mid 90s, and it became almost like a mishmash of a load of singles guys thrown together.
Well, we talked about Big Boss Man and Akeem. And that was two single guys thrown together. You had the dudes of Attitude,
Yeah,
Sean and Diesel. They still kind of had a similar aesthetic.
they
I
didn't
thought.
even tag that much though, did they?
But that was that they held the titles, didn't they?
Did it? But for long?
No,
I don't
probably
know.
not.
Yeah, and like just that mid 90s period up to the Attitude era,
The Guns,
Smoking Guns.
Well Done, Heavenly Bodies.
Yeah, do you know, maybe it wasn't that they were that aesthetic of like colorful tag teams disappeared. Maybe they were just shit.
Yeah, like they weren't pushed well.
Yeah, or were they good? Like that's the other. You know what I mean? The Godwins. Like, they were all
The
there.
Godwins were fucking great, man.
Like, yeah, I love the spit bucket or it's not a spit bucket or whatever it was.
The slop.
Slop bucket. Like, so maybe that kind of aesthetic continued.
Fake Diesel and
but
fake
they're-
Razor.
Oh, what a tag team.
What a tag team.
I actually wanted to get to the outsiders later.
Davey Boy and Owen and Yokozuna.
They held it together though. Like, outside of those two tag teams, particularly Owen and Yokozuna, like, they did great stuff in a time where the tag division was pretty shit.
I was still I'm looking at that though, at Yoko coming out with WrestleMania 11, been like, man, you just main evented the year before.
The two before.
Yeah, the two before. Like,
Back to back.
this is like a fall from grace almost.
And he was massive.
He was huge, man. And you're just kind of like,
Yeah. But, like, is that a perception then of us thinking, like, because of Vince thought, yeah, tag team wrestling?
No,
You know.
so my theory on tag team wrestling goes back to reading Eric Bischoff's book. He goes, right, you've 20 minutes of TV. You can pay 4 people
Yes.
to fill the 20 minutes of TV, or you
Or
can pay
2.
2 people to fill the 20 minutes of TV. What makes more sense? Now, I'm of the opinion, when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, that's logic. But wrestling is a variety show.
That was going to be my counter. You don't have 20 minutes, you have 2 hours.
Yeah,
And if you look at every 20-minute slot as a singles match, there's no fucking variety.
there's no variety.
And tag teams add variety. But also, like, tag team wrestling is fucking awesome.
It can be, yeah.
It's different. Like, stylistically, it's different. The types of stories you tell are different. The formula, layout of matches is different. The breakdown that comes with the chaos at the end, like, it's fundamentally different, and it adds something totally different to the show, and it can be worked.
What I like is the fall finishes that can be established with, instead of someone kicking out of a finisher, you have
the
someone breaking up. I would like to see the rules more
I'd like the rules to be
Utilised?
enforced more so that they can be manipulated more.
exactly.
Yeah,
For a
yeah.
heel to take advantage
Yeah,
of.
or even a
almost.
baby face in like an Eddie Guerrero type way.
Like I was watching recently I can't remember which it was. It could have been Damage Control or the Kabuki Warriors.
Yes, they're awesome.
Kabuki Warrior, amazing. But like the ref ain't counting 5 seconds when they're in the ring.
No,
You know what I mean?
that's gone.
That's the rule though.
I know. Yeah,
But you cannot bring that in when you feel like it.
I know. And
I know you can, but you
Yeah,
can't as well at the
and-
same time. If you want me to take it serious.
and that's like a problem in all companies.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me started on AEW and they're bringing in weird rules.
It's not even like whatever the rules.
AEW fans get
establish
really
are.
pissed when you slag off AEW.
Well, I'm an AEW fan.
But you don't get really pissed about it. You're not like, yeah, but WWE did this.
No, yeah, but like,
Yeah, I'm allowed to have an opinion
Yeah.
of the other company as well, you know? I'm allowed to have an opinion without comparing
yeah,
it.
like, but I do think like, right, whatever the rules you set are the rules.
Yeah.
You don't, like, AEW didn't have to start up and follow the WWE tag team rules. They could have changed 5 rules and said, this is our division.
Do you want to know what my issue is with the way MJF lost the title to Samoa Joe with the
arm drop.
the arm drop?
Yeah.
Because they had established previously
With Moxley, they don't do the arm drop.
that one arm drop is enough
to
to win a match. But they did 3 in that one. And you're like,
but
well,
Moxley was like, so Moxley was doing a kind of thing at the same time as the Samoa Joe was doing the arm drop thing. Because Samoa Joe, I think that was the first time he won with the 3 arm drops. But he did it in 2 or 3 subsequent matches as well. And on the same show, not World's End of the World?
World's End, yeah.
World's End when MJF lost the title. On subsequent Dynamites, Mox would do the Bulldog choke, and the ref wouldn't raise the arm, and the ref would just stop the fight.
because they're passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's silly.
So why are you raising the arm in one match and not doing it in another match?
Yeah, we're going off the topic now once again. But
But
that's
this
what
is important for the context of
and
tag
that's
team rules.
well, it's important for rules in wrestling, which tag team wrestling should have
it's their set rules.
should have rules. So when you're looking then at, say, the best uses of those rules, like, can you pinpoint a tag team
Who were like superb at
the first time you started to notice, say, oh, these are the rules of tag team wrestling. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I understand what's going on here. These bad guys they're
distracting the
They're
ref.
the other guys in the corner kicking
Oh,
them. they're holding them over on this side of the ring so they can get their tag and they can keep,
They can keep recycling, staying fresh.
Yeah. Is there a tag team like that for you?
Like a tag team that I first remember doing it, or a tag team that I think were like
I don't remember the Road Warriors really selling and getting hot tags.
No, they were.
I don't remember Demolition doing that.
Like Road Warriors were notorious for no selling.
Yeah, they just go and beat show. Yeah, that's
Look,
fine.
that's fine. That's
what I
absolutely
like.
fine. You stick them on Superstars on a Saturday morning, a 4-minute squash.
Happy as Larry.
That's Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. That's what you want. I suppose Scott Steiner had an awesome hot tag. I remember some of them. Bret Hart, Anvil.
Yeah.
They were like Bret Hart selling his life out, But then I do remember a very early instance of me getting angry was you had mentioned them, IRS and DiBiase.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they were DiBiase was just a master at both of them, but I felt DiBiase in particular with his smarmy character at the time as well, his interactions with the ref to distract while IRS is bashing the other dude in the corner. I think was it Hogan and Beefcake at WrestleMania 9 is probably my my earliest memory of getting angry with a tag team for that blatant cheating,
Yeah. Well, no, you were left delighted when Hogan won the title at the end.
No, I hated that because I was a Bret Hart mark.
I
was happy when he beat when him and Beefcake beat the
disqualification, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah,
but I was happy because I was a dumb kid.
Head Shrinkers were on that card.
Yes.
Yeah. Who are they up against? Can't remember. But yeah, I would say DiBiase and IRS, but once again, I don't know if that's in hindsight. The ones that I actually had my lived experience of and were really kind of pissed off with, but also kind of got a chuckle out of, which is probably what shouldn't have happened. It's Edge and Christian, man.
Look, I was holding off on getting to Edge and Christian because I think when I look at everything all inclusively, I think they're probably the greatest tag team I've ever seen. I loved them. They're fucking awesome.
That's just because you're a fucking AEW fan.
No, I actually
and because they're fucking in
they're both there
AEW now.
Yeah.
That's why you get those blinkers off.
No, I hate the Hardys, and I've never been a fan of the
Get those big
Hardys.
fucking giant glasses off. That's because Matt's left AEW. That's why.
When he came to AEW, I was like, do I have to watch this guy every Wednesday night?
And then Jeff came, and you're like, and then they fucked it again. Yeah, that's what
when Jeff came, I was like, this guy has nothing left. I get the nostalgia on and all that, but yeah, I just think right. So we go that those early years,
yeah. So
and then the death of tag team wrestling in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, so you had
and the resurgence,
the new Blackjacks. The new Midnight Express.
Yeah.
The new Rockers.
Yeah.
You're like, this worked before. Let's fucking make it work again.
And just keep recycling the word new all the fucking time.
Yeah. Didn't D'Lo Brown have a tag team with your man from the Headbangers?
Did he?
Yeah, I think I think they came out with Fezzes on and shit.
Yeah,
just
really weird. That was weird. And then you had
D'Lo Brown won the tag titles with Test at WrestleMania 14. John Morton reminded that of that.
I have no recollection of that happening.
Why would you?
Why
would you?
Was that for the tag? I thought
WrestleMania 14.
No,
if John Martin says
15 was New Age Outlaws against Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, was it?
That was 14 actually. Yeah. Maybe it was a different WrestleMania. WrestleMania maybe 13 then.
It sounds like a real WrestleMania 13 type shite.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it was WrestleMania 13. Cactus Jack and Terry Funk.
Yeah,
it was WrestleMania 14.
That was 14. I'm pretty sure. Or was it 15?
So you can't when you're talking about Edge and Christian, and you can't really skip over the likes of the New Age Outlaws and what they did for tag team wrestling.
I actually look
at the time.
I don't.
And
think
are
they
you
were
watching
great.
WCW at the time as well?
I was watching WCW.
So the likes of Harlem Heat, the Outsiders.
Harlem Heat are probably the ones that get lost in the shuffle.
They would have been fucking awesome in WWE.
They would have been so good. If you put them late 90s, 99, 2000 WWF, they would have been fucking awesome.
No, even the early 90s, when they were
when they were
in with Sherry. Because that fire gimmick that they had, the fire on the clothes, I always was
great promos except that one time.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. Go check it out on YouTube. I would have loved if Bam Bam had a tag team partner that dressed the exact same as Bam Bam.
Like a mini skinny Bam Bam.
No, just two Bam Bams.
Like two big
two
Bam Bam.
Bam Bam. You'd have a Bam 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 Bam.
Who did Bam Bam? He teamed with someone in ECW to
Shane Douglas.
Was it?
Wasn't he with Shane Douglas?
Yeah, I think
they had the 3 something. I can't remember. But the franchise Shane Douglas, or he was Asbury Park. That was a finisher. He was with Canyon for a while in DDP.
Canyon. That's why I was thinking of Canyon.
Canyon
Yeah,
and DDP. But he was with Shane Douglas.
Another Bam Bam. That would have been very cool. But
like Harlem Heat, with the cause of the
image.
care that they put into their aesthetic and the way they looked, was fucking cool to see.
Yeah, but they were also class as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they would have been just unreal.
You had the Outsiders, which were a big tag team.
I wanted to talk to you about the Outsiders. This is I wrote down a question. Where do you stand on the Outsiders?
Fucking awesome. Why wouldn't they be awesome?
No, I don't.
You have to understand, right? I'm 7 years old. I'm seeing ads for TNT, right?
Yeah, these two
guys who I know from I have my WWF magazine,
and now they have their real names.
And I'm like, what? I'm living in real time now as Nitro is just in its proper infancy
Friday
in
nights.
Ireland. I'm seeing them pick. I remember this distinctly. Them picking up Rey Mysterio and throwing him off the side of it.
Off the
I
truck.
was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
At the same time, I think Mick Foley's doing his thing in WWF, and I'm like, this is what? This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was crazy. Outsiders were awesome.
So my take on the Outsiders is they reinvigorated tag team wrestling in like '96.
They made it cool.
They made it cool. I don't think they were particularly. They didn't excite me to watch or anything like that.
Because you had Men on a Mission as well that were or would have been around before that.
Yeah, like they did nothing for me really in ring. Whatever.
So it was the getting rid of the gimmicks then.
But also
the thing that made tag team wrestling special for us as kids
was the gimmicks.
But
we're getting older.
Exactly.
Yes.
But
so like we were probably growing out of the gimmick thing.
But it's an
time where they dropped the gimmicks.
It's an interesting premise though, because should WWF or whatever wrestling organization, should they be growing with their audience? Or should they be just constantly marketing to a younger audience, like say Nickelodeon does or Disney?
I think that's what made the Attitude Era special.
Because they grew with us.
Yeah. And
that's why we felt so isolated when they reverted back to say PG, because you're like, this isn't for me anymore.
Yeah, I've grown out of this.
Well, I've grown up with it.
Yeah.
So I can't leave it.
And I think because
when wrestling is good, man, it is to us the greatest form of
unbelievable.
entertainment.
Like the Outsiders came along and dropped the gimmicks and picked up the real names.
And picked up the bats.
And like started doing mad shit just at a time where we were old enough to understand that. Yeah. And where we were old enough to go, oh yeah, this wrestling ain't real.
Yeah.
But this is kind of still cool now.
Mm.
And
then obviously that's surrounded by the NWO.
Yeah.
WWE, how do they counteract that?
Stone Cold Steve Austin
and Degeneration X to going around telling people to suck it.
New Age Outlaws.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to wear this t-shirt outside in public because it says I have 2 words for you, suck it, on the back of it with the U kind of crossed out.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm allowed to wear that around. But back then, that would have been the badass thing.
You would have been the coolest kid in school.
If you had a DX t-shirt when you were cool, you would be a fucking king in St. Patrick's de la Salle.
I went to London when I was 12 over, a family thing over to see my auntie over there. And we went to, what's that big, Harrods, big toy shop, is it?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And they had the Austin 316 t-shirt.
Never had it.
I bought it, right? And I wore it into CBS 6th class. A few days later, I was like,
you're the
king of the school.
You're the fucking king.
It was like, that, because wrestling was cool.
Wrestling was class. Like, we used to trade tapes. One guy used to, Darren Latty, I think it was, he used to tape all the
pay-per-views.
Tape all the pay-per-views, and then we would have a queue
to rent it off.
Well, not even rent. He just gave it to us. I remember one year I broke the Royal Rumble tape, and I was like one of the first people in the class. I thought, I was like, I'm going to get my head kicked in.
Do you know what I used to do, right? I had 2 video VHS. What are they called? The systems.
VHS players.
Yeah. I had 2 VHS players, right? And you used to get this card at the back. I can't remember what that was called either. And you could connect them together.
Yeah.
And you could copy
tape-
one
oh,
tape
yeah,
onto
yeah,
the
yeah.
other. I used to do that
Me
in the
too.
CBS with all the wrestling.
And you used to like get the VHS tape and like, is it punch a hole in it?
No, you broke off a little thing at the bottom.
So you could record over it.
Yes.
Is that what it was? No,
That's-
I remember you used to.
There was a little thing at the bottom you had to flick out.
No.
Am I right?
Oh, you could re-record over it. I remember putting like tissue in my one, so maybe it couldn't be re-recorded over. I remember putting stuff in it with tissue, and or setting it to like extra slow, so you can get
in 9 hours.
You
yeah,
get
yeah.
8 hours or something.
The quality was a little bit shitter.
But you didn't care because you got more wrestling.
I
on it.
remember like rounding up all the lads in school who had a video of any of the Hell in a Cell matches, and then I brought them all home and recorded all the Hell in a Cell
Did a
matches.
compilation,
a mixtape of Hell in a Cell.
Speaking of Hell in a Cell, remember I had the original tape of say the Armageddon Hell in a Cell, but was where the cat
came out of the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was 9 years old. I wasn't 9. I was 10
You
to
were
11.
You were the coolest kid in school then.
I was like, oh, but no, because my ma had come down and unplugged the VHS. It was after the cat did that.
Okay,
now,
that's
but
okay,
I didn't get
yeah.
to see the main event.
6-man.
I think it was the 6-man. It was either 99 Armageddon or 2000 Armageddon.
That would have been the 6-man, wouldn't it?
Or, no,
2000.
2000, yeah. Maybe I think Xbox and Kane had a fucking cage match at this one. So maybe it was 99.
Maybe, yeah.
Doesn't matter. I got to see some
Doesn't matter.
titties.
There was a bit of titties.
I got to see some titties when I was only 10. Before that, the only pair that I'd seen were Kate Winslet's and Titanic.
Oh, what a scene.
What a scene. What a scene. But like, growing up like that, we ain't got no internet. We had wrestling.
We had pro wrestling.
We had pro
Sable
wrestling.
with paint, and if you got the tape recorder right, you had Kitty.
And you had imagination.
Anyway, this has gone very off topic.
It's gone off topic. Tag teams. Okay, so the NWO and DX with the New Age Outlaws kind of made tag team wrestling cool then.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So why
was it that transition from the gimmick period? And also, you had the Steiners going dark as well.
Is that why the Road Warriors suffered? Because they kind of tried to go to LOD 2000.
That didn't work.
And they weren't able to get out of that 80s gimmick. In the same way the Hogan was able. Same way Big Boss Man was able.
Yeah.
Like Big Boss Man's career resurgence is fucking phenomenal.
Like Big Boss Man 99, 2000, 98, 99, 2000.
Unbelievable.
It was class.
Unbelievable. But a lot of those older wrestlers who wouldn't have actually been that old then.
No.
Like Rick Rude was 41.
Yeah, but he was crocked at that stage.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like, a lot of these older wrestlers wouldn't have been, in today's standards, be considered that old.
They'd be younger than Edge and Christian and AJ Styles and everyone now.
All these boys now, but they a lot of them still
they couldn't make that
on.
transition.
Yeah, they clung on. Like even like fair play to fucking John Tenta. He became Golga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Oddities, they were a fun little faction.
They were fun. They got some TV time.
Like Bam Bam, we talked about Yokozuna's fall from grace. He went from main event and that WrestleMania where Yokozuna came back to kind of not really do much after that. And, but he stayed around for a while.
And Bam Bam main event was WrestleMania 11, man, and then was gone out of the company.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So, but he was around since the 80s. He
fit in ECW, though, you know what I mean? Like he was able to keep enough of himself and change enough that he was able to go into ECW as like a top guy.
He changed the color flames on his stuff.
Yeah.
But
but he always had an attitude that was like slightly more extreme than what was going on in WWE. And it worked. But so you get to the late 90s then. And
so can LOD be considered as one of the greatest tag teams of all time? Yes, yeah, I suppose so. They can. Yeah. It's just that they weren't able to deviate from what they made them successful. And does that count?
You should it count? Probably should. Like in the grander scheme of things. Like longevity. Are you able to...
Like they were around a long time before then.
I know, like even going back to what we were talking about, Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express, like they were knocking around AWA probably.
Are you looking at 84, 83?
Yeah.
So, by the time they reached their peak, they had a good...
Probably 10...
Did it have a great 10-year run?
Yeah, it had a great 10-year.
And then after that...
But who had a greater 10-year run? LOD or the Steiners? Because if you count Japan, Steiners were pretty important over there too.
We're talking about stuff that we've seen as a kid.
like seen
Like I
firsthand.
love Terry Gordy now.
I knew very little about.
I
Terry
knew very
Gordy
little
in
about Terry Gordy.
1993, like
Yeah. I knew like about
Miracle.
the Freebirds.
Did you know about the Miracle Violence Connection?
I only recently found out with Dr. Death.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
a name.
Oh, best tag team name ever.
And talk about their matches. The Steiners, I think it's like 92 Clash of the Champions.
Like, and like I watched other matches with them against like Misawa and Kawada against the Miracle Violence Connection, and they just beat the shit out of each other.
And I love that kind of wrestling.
Brilliant.
I love that kind of wrestling.
Like again, this is me watching a 90.
Give me some of that and I'll eat it up.
Like,
Just
all day. But that's me. This is me watching this 93 Real World Tag League final in 2021. You know what I mean?
fucking nerd.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I went down this rabbit hole. I remember texting Dumph a couple of years ago. I was going, Dumph, I need help. I'm gone down a 1990s All Japan rabbit hole, and I can't get out.
I can't stop chopping like that.
I'm doing Kawada kicks to myself in the house. I was like, I
just
down.
get my ma a burning hammer.
Yeah, she kicked out with one. Like, I was like, yeah, went down. So,
I knocked down a pillar in the house, and I'm standing in its place.
I am the four pillars.
I'm all four pillars of this house.
And
No, you fucking ruined the house, Niall.
There's no pillars
There's
left.
no pillars left. We're homeless.
But like, yeah, so like, I did go down the rabbit hole and watched like all those like Real World Tag League finals.
But you didn't when you were a kid. You didn't
I
grow
didn't
up with it.
grow up with it.
So you can
I
have a
didn't
certain
have that connection
you can have a
on
certain
it.
fucking appreciation for
Yes,
it. Just
yes.
like the same way you can have a bit of an appreciation for Mozart as you're getting a bit older and your ears getting a bit fucking tuner, but you didn't grow up with it.
And-
you grew up with Bewitched and Westlife, all right? That's your fucking childhood, and you're going to learn to love it.
Bewitched or Westlife?
None of them. Neither of them were my childhood.
I'll go Westlife.
I'm Boyzone, bitch.
Oh yeah. 6. Was it 6? Were they the ones?
Yeah, they were dead.
I
people.
remember my mother made me bring my sister to see 6 up in O'Loughlin's.
Bullshit. I know. I
swear
knew what you were going to say. I knew you were going to say.
I had to bring my sister. I swear to God. I swear to God, I had to bring my sister.
So many people's stories start with I
had to bring my sister. Yeah.
I remember my cousins didn't tell us where they were going, and then were found out because Sky One were showing a concert of Boyzone at the O2, and my two cousins appeared on the Sky One show. Where were you? Nowhere. Bullshit.
I was at my great granny's house there.
They had it. Someone had it. Was taping it. It wasn't me. I wasn't taping it.
He had the tape.
Yeah.
Anyway, tag teams.
Tag teams. Yeah.
But yeah, so like, yeah, I put those that like All Japan 90s stuff in that same category with Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, things that I appreciate now that I'd lived through.
Pre-footage. Because we had no footage of it.
Yeah.
Before we got footage of it.
This before the internet.
It's before we got footage.
Like I'm sure like somebody's gonna watch this who's like 10 or 12 years younger than us that doesn't understand what life was like before the internet.
Yeah.
Like we just
all we had was the Cat Armageddon tape. That was it.
And like that went around
for
everyone
4 years. That's
repeat.
all we had.
And
but an interesting thing is Terry Gordy and Dr. Death, right? That kind of style of wrestling is what I actually enjoy.
That's what I enjoyed most.
And that stems from like watching the Acolytes beat the show, people.
Fucking Acolytes, man.
No, and like clothesline from fucking hell.
Like you think, right? The Acolytes, right? I'm trying to think of like chronology here. So they do the Acolytes.
Nice word.
They get brought into Ministry of Darkness. And then the most genius transition out of Acolytes
into the APA.
like,
In school, man,
man,
we had the OKPA, the O'Keefe
course.
Protection Agency.
Yeah.
That's who we were
genius,
That's who we were in our school fed.
And the backstage segments with them playing poker and the door.
And you had to go through the door. And you were like, yeah, this is all coming up on the JBL documentary that I have written. But like I fucking enjoyed that style, right? And the reason why I'm bringing them up is because you mentioned Gordy and you mentioned Dr. Death. But
and
also,
JBL is of a similar
vein. But speaking of JBL, you also mentioned Scott Steiner. And Scott Steiner is someone who I argued could have possibly won either the 93 or 94 Royal Rumble. Is there any tag team guy who could have split
That
didn't, who could have gone on to bigger things, maybe even sooner than they had, like JBL,
like
who I
Scott
think
Steiner.
JBL got there eventually,
Yeah.
but like Brett split and he became big.
Yeah,
Shawn
Michaels
New
split.
went to split, he went and became
Yeah.
big.
So who didn't split that could have become big?
Yeah, like could
Like Edge and Christian split. They both went on to do.
but Edge did first.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
when you look at we're skipping over the Mega Powers. I can't believe we did that.
I actually had them in a separate category. as well.
We'll come back to separate. It's super teams.
It's the Mega Powers Rock and Sock Connection category. You know what I mean?
And the 2-man power trip.
And 2-man power trip.
And the Brothers of Destruction.
And they're brothers. But they're not brothers. But
well, that's what I wanted to get about Edge and Christian as well. Like, how did they were brothers that just became friends?
Yeah, best friends.
Like, how the fuck does that happen?
I know.
But wrestlers that could have maybe from that golden generation split to go on to do bigger things. Earthquake,
John Tenta,
and Tugboat, they kind of came together after their runs. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Didn't John Tenta have a fantastic run as the Shockmaster as well?
It wasn't fantastic, but Tugboat maybe.
Oh, was that Tugboat that did Shockmaster?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was Typhoon.
What's his name?
John Tenta is Earthquake.
Yeah. What's Typhoon's name in real life?
Uncle. I only know Uncle something because Cody, but I don't know for definite.
Right.
He's Tugboat and he's Shockmaster. And he's Typhoon.
You know, like
John Tenta is Earthquake. He's the other one.
Yeah. Like he did big singles things here and there. Japan had a mini run with Hogan, I think, as well.
Yeah. Like if you were to split up, say LOD though, who would you push?
Neither.
Fuck you. It's Hawk.
I would have said Animal.
Why? Who would you like to see Ultimate Warrior go up against?
Animal.
Why?
See the big chest.
Nah, fucking Hawk. He diving on top rope.
Yeah,
bitch.
Hawk was the worker of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot.
It's saying a lot because neither of them were workers.
Yeah.
But Animal had a big old chest. Yeah, I would have said Animal out.
Because like when the Bulldogs, when like Dynamite Kid was like, we're getting out of here, Davey. And Davey went with him. Like if Davey had stayed, maybe he would have been. I know he had that 92 moment, but if Davey had stayed,
could he have had a
bigger
long
could
run
he have been,
or was he always destined to end up with Owen Hart in a tag team?
I know he got his demons, though, bro.
Yeah,
he got
serious
demons, though, bro.
And like, what other tag teams could you have split?
Maybe the right ones already did split.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
you're always going to have your Marty Jannetty's and you're always going to have your Shawn Michaels, or if that doesn't occur, you're just going to have two guys that were a tag team.
Yeah, if one of them
that couldn't exceed.
I can't think of another tag team that legitimately
never split or
didn't split. That one of them was denied maybe a top level singles guy run.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Steiner, that would have been my pick.
Yeah, but he did have a fairly high level
eventually,
singles
yeah.
Run. Eventually, yeah.
But I think he could have done a lot in WW.
Because like you could take New Day and say all of them.
Head Shrinkers and the Steiners brothers at WrestleMania 9. That's who it was.
Yes.
That's who it was.
Like you probably could have, like the New Day would be one where at least two of the three of them, I know they didn't split, but they did singles runs anyway.
Yeah. Well, but there's three of them, so they had like the Freebirds rules.
Yeah. But and two of them went on to be world champions. And one,
but you can always keep the tag team going. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They didn't split, but they did their singles runs anyway.
Because so many tag teams end up splitting, and you're just like, why?
Why did you split?
Why did you?
Many.
Why did the primetime players need to split?
They never need to split.
They never needed to split. They were good.
But I think that's Vince's idea of.
Why did Crime Time? Why did you need to split Crime Time?
That's Vince's idea of tag team wrestling.
Leave
is that
JTG and Chad together.
They're all there to be split.
Yeah, just don't.
Because it worked for him with Michaels and Jannetty. And it worked for him with the Mega Powers exploding.
Yeah, maybe that's what I would put it as the Mega Powers.
For the next 25 years, he's trying
People like tag team splitting.
Yeah. And then he just stringently stuck to that with every great tag team he had. And like, it worked a few times. Like, it worked with Jannetty and HBK.
Well, the only reason I was saying did it is because Jannetty, he fucked off and it took him ages to finish that actual story.
I don't. Did even finishing the story really matter? Because like
finishing the story always matters, Morro.
Some stories don't need to be finished.
Whoa!
And one of them is Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty's story needs to be finished.
Oh God, I
remember when he came back with Sean in the lead up to Kurt Angle?
Yes.
And he had the rockers against La Resistance. And like Shawn Michaels wouldn't dress as a rocker.
Yeah.
Come out. I don't think he came out to rocker music.
He came out to Sexy Boy.
Did he?
Yeah,
like he should have come out with like Marty Jannetty looked like a fucking idiot. Like.
Yeah, like he
looked
like,
good though. He got good in the ring.
He got kind of back in decent shape. Well, he was always great in the ring.
And he had a match with Kurt as well.
He did.
But like he dressed like a fucking.
Here's another one. World's greatest tag team.
Charlie Haas and Shelton
Bench. They were unreal.
They were brilliant.
They were
brilliant.
They were bloody brilliant.
But it was when a time when they were just throwing tag teams together.
Yeah,
again.
but they worked. And do you know what? Maybe they worked because they were Kurt Angle's henchmen and they dressed the same.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And but they're right. I think we're skipping a massive golden period here.
We're skipping the Attitude Era.
Yeah, TLC 1, 2, 3,
we're
4.
Skipping the Dudley Boyz.
Okay, right. The three big tag teams.
So we're but we have to go from New Age Outlaws. You have the Headbangers.
Yeah.
You have the Acolytes.
Yeah, awesome.
You have the Mean Street Posse.
Yeah, good fun.
Good fun.
You
have Kai and Tai.
Great fun.
What other tag teams are we missing out here?
you
Techno Team 2000.
Yeah.
Go on, Eric Watts.
But wasn't there like a whole host of like fake bikers and chains and all that?
Yeah, you had the Harris Brothers. They were the Blue Brothers previously. Yeah. Another shit tag team.
So like but they're all like the lower card tag team fodder and
Los Barricos.
Oh yeah, they were actually pretty cool.
Shut up.
They looked kind of cool, but they were shit like. Yeah. And then you get
Rock and Sock Connection. They were during that time.
They were probably a little bit after that, though, weren't they? Were they not more like Edge and Christian? Oh no, actually, I'm thinking of their reunion when they lost the 3-on-2 match.
No, it was maybe 99.
Evolution.
Yeah. But the Edge and Christian, because you had the Brood, you had the Hardys bursting about around then.
Yeah, Hardys.
But I don't think they really kicked into gear
till about 2000.
Until the Dudleys.
Dudleys come in.
I know they had the ladder match, and then they had the 3-way ladder match.
And then the
had TLC 1 and 2.
And the second one.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is the golden era of the second golden generation of tag teams in our life.
But is it just because it's based around 3 tag teams?
I think Hardys, what you had is you had 3 awesome tag teams.
The Dudleys, I just loved them so much.
Like, they were so good.
Like, you had Bubba Ray powerbombing Mae Young off a Titantron through a table.
That was insane.
He was doing it to everyone.
Everyone.
He just didn't care.
Nobody was.
He was like, even as a kid, I was like, Bob, stop! Remember, he was stuttering,
and he had the eyes.
He had the glasses with no lenses in them. He was just. I thought Bubba Ray Dudley was the coolest fucking thing going.
Who was your favorite out of those 3? Dudleys, Hardys, Edge, and Christian. Bubba Ray. Because to me, it was all like the one thing that. I know
you like the Hardys growing up because they're always the good guys, and because I wouldn't say the Hardys. You like Jeff because he would do mad shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, cool. But I like the Dudleys because they were just bastards.
Yeah, they were brilliant heels.
They were brilliant bastards, and that's what you want with.
And do you know
why is it what you want? Because I liked them. But I always liked those monster guys. I liked Vader. I liked Mick Foley when I was growing up. They were just big fucking monsters. And the Dudley Boyz were monsters.
What's the enduring, like, if you were to pick one image from that particular mini golden generation, what's your one memory? Like, what one image sticks with you?
WrestleMania 17, Edge spearing Jeff Hardy off.
Same. Like, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That match in itself, though. And all the little clever dynamics at play. Lita, Rhino, Spike Dudley. Yeah. Everyone got their moment to shine. But then you're looking at WrestleMania and WrestleMania 17, which is the pinnacle of the Attitude Era, which is regarded as the greatest era of all wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the moment that, like...
So that's when...
And the camera flashes...
Tag team wrestling fucking crescendoed, man.
Yeah, right there.
Boom.
That was like... So, that's why when I'm thinking, like...
And right after that, you get Chronic.
But no, there was a comeback with SmackDown, like 2002, when they did the tournament. Dare I say?
When Edge and Hulk Hogan win the title.
No. You did Chris Benoit, Let It Linger, and Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio on Edge.
Why did you bring up?
I didn't mean that. He was in the tournament.
He wasn't. We were going to skip over that.
Were we? I didn't.
I brought up Chronic and you brought
I
up
went
Crispy
straight to Chris
Benoit.
Benoit.
Because you have to talk about Canyon and DDP getting absolutely massacred by fucking the Brothers of Destruction.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, you forgot about that, did you? No, you went straight to Chris
I
Benoit.
went
Couldn't have
straight to
forgot
Chris
about
Benoit.
him, no?
Yeah, Chris Benoit.
Couldn't forgot about him.
Piece
Piece of shit.
So you get
You.
that. I mean, but
And him.
but see, then you get into this, right? The
Did Hogan win the title with Edge?
Yeah, a little bit later. Was that like 05 or something? I can't remember the exact year. But you get
04
that,
maybe.
that
Edge came back from breaking his neck or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, so
yeah,
I skipped.
you had to come back as a babyface.
A Boba Fett.
You know, you break your neck,
Oh,
you
no,
have to come back.
Babyface on
This is Babyface.
Wait, Hardcore Holly. That he's a testament to that.
Yeah, he
The
can.
fucking Hollies, they were great too. Well, Crash was.
Yeah, what about Hardcore Holly's
Job
previous team, Sparkplug?
Sparky Plug.
Yeah, who was his tag team and what are they called?
He didn't have a tag team then, did he?
A Sparky Plug.
No,
didn't
he was in the new Midnight Express.
He was.
Yeah.
The last time I thought he was in the New Rockers.
Yeah,
That was
he
Al
did.
Snow.
Hardcore Holly is in a lot of things.
Yeah,
He was.
and
he's former tag team champion with Cody Rhodes.
And he's
Whoa!
he's
Who's
a lot
looking at us?
shitter than he ever thought he was. as
Did
well.
I not like a bit of Hardcore Holly?
I did it. Like
I loved Hardcore Holly
that
Royal Rumble 04 run. I was like, you're not going to win, but fuck yeah.
99 to 2001 hardcore division. Hardcore Holly was deadly. 2000, 2002 maybe. But then, like, you know, you had now, like, I have an issue with this because that tag team tournament that ran on SmackDown, it came up. Oh, it was 2002. No Mercy.
Didn't have a lot of tag teams in it, didn't
They didn't have a lot of tag teams, but the matches were fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, but you like just matches
I
with any
love
story.
matches. I
No
love no.
story.
They had stories because you had the Angle Bent feud. They were teamed up together. You had Edge and Rey Mysterio. They had a lot of stuff going on.
What did they have going on, Morrow?
I can't remember. They had stuff
Exactly.
going on. Then you had who was it? I think Angle and
You just already
Mysterio.
said Angle.
Angle and Mysterio though on the other team. Like, so
Yeah, well,
Angle had
well,
the issues with his own partner. and then
Mysterio debuts at, well, it doesn't debut, but he has his opening match at SummerSlam 2002
two with Angle.
against Curty Angle.
And then they go into the tag team tournament and they face off in the final. But Angle has issues with Benoit.
Who's
at
the
the
tag
time
team
as well.
champions on the other side then?
There's not on Raw.
Yeah.
Probably.
Is there a brand split then?
Yeah, that started the brand split, isn't it? 2002.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bishop?
Yeah, because you SmackDown 6. Like
When did he come?
Raw was it?
I'm better than
03?
ever. I thought it was 03, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was, the brand split was with Rick and Vince.
Rick and Vince was the first one, yeah.
Yeah, that was,
And
sorry,
because
I'm
Raw
thinking
was a dumpster fire for that first year. SmackDown was awesome.
Mm.
And they did that tag team tournament final. Unbelievable wrestling.
Unbelievable techers.
And but
but
then
like
they weren't tag teams.
Yeah, but they didn't give a shit about tag team. Like every now and again, you'd get like Deuce and Domino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Sin
But-
Snuka and the other one with Sherry. You get Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree.
Like that is just bonkers. Like
Fuck off, Morrow. Shit.
no, like it's terrible.
The
Like
on-
how
like-
how could they ever fit together?
You get Cade and Jindrak.
Yeah,
You had Luther Reigns and Jindrak at one stage.
yeah, you're just saying.
You have
names.
Ric Flair and
I-
Batista.
Well, they were an evolution, but
Yeah,
they, didn't need
and
to
they
be-
beat the Dudleys in, I think, in their last match to win the.
They didn't need to be a tag team with each other after Evolution.
You
or
had
anything,
Carlito and Chris Masters tag team.
but- yeah,
You're like, why?
like you're saying all these
Kane
tag
and
teams.
Big Show tag team.
I couldn't honestly.
Hurricane and Kane big tag team.
That was funny. though.
RVD and Kane tag team.
That was also
Goldust
kinda
and
good.
Booker T tag team.
I never got that one.
William
you're-
Regal and the Un-Americans, were they? There's Un-Americans, Lance Storm and Christian.
Did they tag team?
Chris Jericho and Christian were a tag team.
Yeah.
Test and Albert, TNA.
Well, Edge and Hogan.
Test and Scott Steiner were a tag team.
Is
You're just kind of like,
that mine or yours? It's not mine.
it's not me, yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
It's you. You're getting. He's getting a phone call.
I'm not. It's not mine.
This is unprofessional, Morrow.
It's
but
my
like,
notes are talking to me. So you're
have
getting off topic.
That like you had La Resistance. They were just,
cool.
William Regal and Tajiri. They were just
But they were lumping stuff together at that stage.
exactly the
So,
only
like,
the only one
as
that I
good
actually
as-
really liked were, and I know it's a few years later, but I really, really, really liked Trevor Murdoch and Garrison Cade.
Why?
I just fucking probably because they were
Do you
a
know
tag
what?
team,
I
and
ha-
it goes back to that kind of
Yeah.
whole brawler fucking.
I have a soft spot for Trevor Murdoch, actually.
yeah,
Yeah, you know.
he looks like he shouldn't
But-
be a wrestler.
You got then like the rest of that decade in WWE was plagued by non-tag teams.
Yeah, but there was cool tag team wrestling still happening in the world. You had LAX, you had Beer Money.
This is what I was going to get to.
You had
Beer
a-
Money Inc.
I remember.
Motor City Machine Guns.
I remember watching
America's Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted against Triple X.
Triple X.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That cage match.
Unbelievable.
And seeing Elix Skipper do that fucking
the cage run.
with
cage
the-
walk. Whatever. Fucking insane.
blew my mind, man.
Yeah. But like WWE was plagued with not having an actual functioning tag division. But then TNA were doing brilliant stuff.
Mm.
Beer Money, Motor City Machine Guns, America's Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted was first.
Yeah,
and
they-
the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, they went there.
The Dudley Boys were there, and Dudley Boys had a great run in TNA.
And you know, it transitioned into Bubba being a kind of a
Going into a single star.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you had Bully Ray. And that kind of properly got him over, yeah?
And so, like, to me, that is the generation of, like, that's where there was a big change in tag team wrestling again. In that generation is what's influenced the style of tag wrestling we watch today.
The TNA. Well,
Yeah.
or the X Division.
Yeah,
really.
X
'Cause you
Division
had
and
the Young Bucks were there as well.
yeah,
The Young Bucks and Motor City Machine Guns had a fucking cool run with Generation Me and
at like 2008, 2009,
Whatever it was,
yeah. 07, yeah, around then. And I think that's where the Young Bucks kind of learned the art of tag team wrestling. Because to me, they're the greatest of this generation.
what do you mean the art of tag team wrestling though?
Like how to get over as tag wrestlers.
No, how to get themselves over as a tandem, maybe,
Yeah.
but actual tag wrestling.
Yeah, well, I think they've had, in my mind, 2 of the 3 greatest tag matches I've ever seen.
FTR
No,
and Hangman and Kenny.
Hangman and Kenny, Kenny and Ibushi in that New Japan Long Beach main event, and then the other one would be Briscoes and FTR double dog collar.
I'd say like DIY and FTR
That I would have. That's very high on
and
my list. as
FTR
well.
and American Alpha.
I'd have that a little bit lower, but I still love that.
I love that
Yeah,
those matches.
I would probably like FTR and DIY is super high on my list as well.
Yeah, like we're probably skipping over stuff once again,
Yeah.
like we do. But mainly it
But
was
it's just when you go to Motor City Machine Guns, Beer Money Inc., American Wolves,
yeah.
they just instantly scream to me, we are the stepping stone from Edge and Christian.
WWE are still not paying attention though to tag wrestling at this time.
I think they've recently been trying a bit harder.
In 2010,
No, sorry, this time I thought you're talking now.
no. I'm
2010.
talking about-
Fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah.
It's shit.
I can't remember any standout tag teams from then.
Because we're just throwing guys
It
together.
was CM Punk and Kofi Kingston,
Yeah.
or
Like
Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne, maybe.
Evan Bourne, yeah. That was another one. But,
Spirit
like,
Squad, they were tag team champions in 06.
was it even after that?
DX, you had Rated
That was
RKO,
about
Rated RKO,
Like it was a mishmash of throwing singles guys together.
Shawn Michaels and John Cena.
Did they ever run as tag?
That was their
champions?
fucking whole build to WrestleMania 23.
Jesus.
Like there was a lot of time tag team matches aren't getting, along with the Intercontinental title and stuff. Why would you not give a fuck about these titles? Because people do care.
Yeah. There's
People, and like you can see with it now, like people actually give a fuck when Sami Zayn bet Gunther.
because
People give a fuck when
Because the
Sami
title
Zayn and
meant
Kevin
something.
Owens bet the Usos.
the title meant something.
Exactly. And it can be such a valuable part of the show. And that's why I don't understand why WWE just didn't give a shit for so long.
Well,
'Cause
and it didn't.
you had the Awesome Truth thrown together.
Yeah.
You had Team Hell No, another team just thrown together.
Just thrown
and
together.
While they
And
were
like
fun,
entertaining, yes, absolutely. Had good matches, all that.
The
I think
next-
the Shield being a kind of
the Nexus before that, though, you had fucking Darren Young probably just thrown with
whichever random other member.
yeah,
You know
Michael
what I mean?
McGillicuddy.
Class.
David Otunga was just thrown with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Justin Gabriel.
There was no thought put into it. And I think, do you know what? Like,
I think David Otunga is the tag team champion with John Cena somewhere there.
Jesus.
Yeah, he is. Remember when John Cena had to join the Nexus after losing to Wade
yeah,
Barrett?
yeah.
I think David Otunga won the title with John Cena.
Jesus Christ.
And you're just like, why you?
Like, there's no division there. Like, you know,
why'd you give
there's titles without a division.
Yeah.
But then you had the New Day come along and like almost force Vince's hand.
I don't think they did though. There's still that kind of like bouncing around. You're still having the likes of.
But you remember,
I say you have the Shield, you have the New Day, you have the Wyatt family, right?
Yeah, but the Wyatt family never got involved in the tag division, really.
Well, the Bludgeon Brothers did. They won the
But
title.
that's after the Wyatt family.
But you're still having Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan win the title.
Jeez.
You're like, why the fuck is this?
What, yeah.
But NXT were taking it more seriously.
Like,
so you had
FTR, DIY, American Alpha.
Yeah, Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass.
Like, they were fucking great. The Vaudevillains.
Oh, yeah. They were
good. The Vaudevillains were fun.
Who were the other guys as well? Connor and Victor.
The Ascension. Yeah. And they went up to WWF and were just treated, or the main roster were just treated like shit.
Like jobbers, like.
The Dudley Boyz came back. They were treated like shit.
Yeah. But like, it was with NXT in that period was the first time you felt with WWE, I know it's NXT, but it's still WWE, that a tag team title match could main event a pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And that was, like, you know, FTR, DIY, even those two mad lads, Occam and Razar.
Oh, Authors of Pain. They're fucking cool as well because they're a throwback.
And they had Ellering there. You know what I mean? There was lots of throwback stuff with them. Like, and you know, you felt like tag team wrestling and the titles were important. But I think New Day, in fairness, did a great job of giving value to the division.
100%. New Day kept the flame going.
Yeah,
and the Usos.
And the Usos, yeah. I didn't like the aesthetic of those early Usos. I thought, like, we were at a point in time where that Samoan
they were going
gimmick.
They were going with their face paint, and they were just happy go lucky.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, they're later, like, right, here, Usos, right?
But, like, they're only as good as who they're going up against. You have the New Heart Foundation, D.H. Smith and Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, they were a tag team. How many fucking tag teams was Cesaro?
The Bar.
They
were class.
They were good, yeah. But, like, how many tag teams was he?
And also how they built that tag team was brilliant as well with the best of 7.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff, I don't mind when two singles guys come together.
I thought they looked stupid.
Oh, it looked so stupid. But when they started smacking guys around the ring, I was like, yeah, this is the Terry Gordy type of.
This is the stuff that we want.
Yeah. And, like, you know, Cesaro and Sheamus, big, strong, smack lads around, laid in stiff, all that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't, you know, when the two singles guys go, that's different from, like, the pairing of the two-man power trip.
They became a tag team.
Yes. Yeah. And we got to see that evolution through that best of 7 and that.
Exactly. When they still don't become a tag team, when they don't even match fucking gear.
Yeah, they matched.
When they matched
had their hands sig, you know.
Yeah. They became a tag team. And you're like, yeah, okay, I can buy it.
I'm all on board for that.
Let's give some respect for some tag team wrestling, man.
It was the same as why I found Team Hell No to be endearing, was you could see them in front of your eyes trying to be a tag team. Despite the fact one of them was Kane.
Yeah. But Kane's been in so many fucking tag teams.
X-Pac,
RVD, Hurricane.
Big Show.
They were called the Hurricane. Big Show, Undertaker,
Daniel Bryan,
fake Razor Ramon.
Yeah, as fake.
He's been in a lot of tag teams.
Yeah, well, that's I think like right. We have this like big monster guy that we don't always have something to do with singles.
Let's just put him in a tag team.
Yeah.
Let's put him in a tag team. Oh, we forgot Los Guerreros when we were talking about
2002. Unbelievable.
Ooh, and even Eddie and Tajiri, when that became a tag team because Chavo got injured. I really like that.
Yeah.
You can throw
Eddie could do anything, though.
Single wrestlers been thrown together and not having a tag team sucks, but you can literally throw Tajiri with anyone and I'll be happy.
And I'd say you could throw Eddie with anyone and that'll work too.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fuck it. It's Eddie Guerrero.
So tag team wrestling is in a great place now.
I think so, yeah. Like, if you look now, right, at the top tag teams in wrestling, there's the match, like, there's so much good shit happening.
FTR,
Oh, like
Young Bucks, the Acclaimed.
yeah, claimed like
No, but I'm just actually naming out tag teams.
yeah,
The Acclaimed,
Guns.
the Guns, House of Black,
yeah,
and other
Kings of the
trios.
Black Throne.
Yeah, I like the Righteous.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of them.
I don't like I don't like the name Iron Savages. I preferred Bear Country,
Yeah.
but they're proper fucking
Proper tag team.
WWF then as well. You have fucking Awesome Truth. I
hate Awesome
and
Truth.
Grayson and Waller actually as well. Just thrown together. They
I-
could
yeah.
be a tag team
Do you
if
know
they
what?
just
They,
started.
like they have similar vibes,
Yeah.
so they can make it work.
Cunty vibes.
But like then you also have
got
like
a cunty vibe.
you look like a cunt.
Hey, Aussie mate. Yeah, you're a cunt.
And like, but also then the creeds. Like I know they're not overly polished yet, but they're going to be fucking class. Like,
Yeah.
who else? I'm trying to think of that.
Los Lotarios.
I like them.
Yeah.
I like them.
Angel and
Umberto. Yeah, I really like them actually. But yeah, so you like
Gorillas of Destiny are there now.
I was actually going to bring them up earlier. Like, I've watched a lot of New Japan over the last since about 2016, 17. They're not good. Like, they're not good.
They made a name for themselves.
I know they did, in fairness, like, and they probably got decent contracts. Fair play to you guys.
I want to just see Jacob Fatu. That's who I
Give me
like.
Jacob Fatu.
Give me Jacob Fatu.
They gave us the other guy as a swerve because we thought we were getting
Tongaloa.
Yeah, like he's the worst of them all. Like, just give me Jacob Fatu. I'm like,
Fucking leave Camacho alone.
I watched.
That's who we need. We need Unico and Camacho back. Bring back Sin Cara and fucking Samurai del Sol. What did he? Kalisto. Bring them back. Street Profits.
Street Profits.
Break them up and push Montez forward.
No, I love Street Profits, and I don't
break them up and push Montez forward.
I don't think Montez Ford is going to be the singles guy people think he does.
You shut the fucking mouth. Why?
I'd be happy. I don't know. I just again aesthetic.
Aesthetic of Montez Ford he's immaculate.
He needs an overhaul of his aesthetic.
Yeah, he can get that easily.
Yeah,
he's
true,
an immaculate looking man.
He's a
he should have pushed him. He should have pushed him after he did that fucking back.
Yes.
Fucking flip off the eliminator. I can't even describe it. It's ridiculous what he did.
That was class.
Yeah.
But
should have pushed him
I think
straight to the top.
Both companies have deadly tag divisions now. I do. I think in general, AEW tag matches are better because they're given more time and better placement on the card. Like this thing in Derby versus the Bucks there was just fucking
Usos versus Kevin and Sammy.
That was brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah.
I would put that up there with the best of them.
I would put that up there with a lot of the best tag matches I've seen.
Kevin and Sammy against Finn and Priest.
That was deadly.
That was a fucking great fight.
Yeah.
I don't think the tag teams that they have now are conducive to like great tag team wrestling, but
probably not yet. But a lot of them are getting there. But I just think like the Sammy, Kevin, and Usos one is what I'm talking about that AEW do more of. It gave it prominence and importance on the card.
But when you look at AEW's champions, like a lot of it has just been two single guys thrown together, right?
Yeah.
So therefore they're
on
getting
a few occasions.
So like their initial tag team champions were
SCU,
yeah. They didn't really become much. I think that was a swerve more than anything.
Everyone was expecting.
But like Kenny and Hangman pretty much got fairly soon after that, maybe a year.
No, 3-4 months.
Was it? Were they the next tag team champions?
They beat them on the Jericho's cruise.
Right. So they were fairly prominent for a long time.
Yeah, that was a great run. FTR beat them.
Young Bucks then, was it?
Was there one in between?
I don't know. But you had Bill and Starks.
Big Bill and Starks.
They were another tag team that were just kind of two guys.
They were two guys. You had Swerve and before that, Swerve and Keith Lee, and they took it from Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Like Swerve and Keith Lee in some ways kind of came in as a tag team, but you knew they were never going to stay a tag team.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus again were a tag team that you probably knew long term weren't going to be a tag team.
Sting and Darby.
Yeah.
Would you classify them as a tag team?
In AEW, like their whole basically every Sting match in AEW was in a tag team with Darby, so I would.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you know, you're not going to associate all of Sting's career with Darby, but
No,
his
but
whole AEW run.
I would have put them two together almost as like a Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah, you could put them in that kind of grouping as well.
2-man power trip.
I wouldn't.
And Mega Powers.
I don't know. I think the Brothers of Destruction is probably
but they're a proper tag team. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably a closer analogy because of the length of their run as well. Like, you know, their tag team matches were stretched out over 3 years. Never
29 matches, 29 Sting matches.
Yeah, all tag teams with Darby.
Right.
Or multi-man.
Yeah.
With Darby, you know.
And CM Punk.
And he did them.
And FTR, maybe.
Yeah. So, like, you get, like... But the matches, like, got lots of prominence and time to be great matches. Whereas I think WWE, aside from a couple... Like, on a fewer occasions, the tag teams got that prominence. Like, night one of Mania 39?
Yes.
39? With the... Like, that match, the Sammy and Kevin and Usos one, is by far the best match Usos ever had.
Better than WrestleMania 40 when they're
without a doubt. Oh, that was a shit show. That's probably going to be the best match of their career.
Speaking of shit show, the Women's Tag Team Championship.
I just never know what's happening. Like, the division isn't deep enough to make it exciting.
It is deep enough. They just don't have...
No, they have numbers, they don't have quality.
Not that they don't have quality. They don't actually have tag teams.
They never had.
That's why the Kabuki Warriors...
That's why that worked.
They're a tag team.
Yeah.
You can tell they have the clear, similar fucking gear, fucking just coming at
vibes,
similar fucking moveset.
Yeah,
you know they have the history together.
Do you know what's another thing about them? They're both deadly wrestlers.
Exactly, but
a lot of that division aren't deadly wrestlers.
Like, you just need to.
You need to commit to building a tag team.
Define what, like Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. They could be a tag team. I'll buy that.
Yeah.
You know, both Scottish, I think, both coming from the UK at least.
But stick them like
they had a witchy gimmick which is gone. But you know, they could be a tag team.
They could, the
work. Iconics, they were a tag team.
Yeah, I like them. They weren't great in the ring or anything, but they were
at least they were a tag team.
They were a tag team and they were good fun.
Exactly. So if you're looking, like, people are saying, oh, they should introduce, say, a women's intercontinental title.
Nah.
If you're doing the women's,
just build tag teams.
I think build the tag team,
and I think
division
what you'll
first
get there as well is right.
Like, eventually get your TBS title or whatever.
Yeah.
I think build your tag team division first if it's there already.
Yeah, but I think what you get from that is let's say you get Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Let's say they do a 2-year tag run together.
Yeah,
they're getting exposure. They're getting loads of experience. They're not being thrown out in singles matches that they're not quite ready for on TV yet.
Well, no, the Alba Fire is definitely ready for fucking...
I'm using them as an example.
Right.
There's lots of other women who aren't. Like, you know what they're doing now with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Because Bianca Belair can do the bulk of the work and Cargill can stay on TV, build her aura, get more in-ring time, be partnered up with someone who's fucking deadly.
Yeah.
That's a good way of bringing her on. Like, I thought, like, we had this conversation on the AEW episode, but I thought AEW did a fairly good job with Jade Cargill. But, like, she needed to be on a house show circuit or an independent circuit for a couple of years, working 5 matches a week format. You know what I mean? And she's because of the way she looked and the presence, she was pushed to the top quickly in both companies, or pushed to a prominent position quickly in both companies. Whereas if she did a 2-year run or a 1-year run now as a tag team with Bianca Belair, doing the house shows and TV, like, that will aid her development massively.
Yeah, I don't think that would have happened in AEW.
No, it couldn't have. Yeah. Like, AEW wasn't. It's almost like they signed her, and it's like, shit. This one, like,
she's amazing,
is special, but she's not in-ring ready. So
we'll put her against Cody.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Cody's been in a few tag teams himself. Damien Sandow springs to mind. You have Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, you have Goldust.
Hardcore Holly. Goldust, what fucking...
You know,
and like not when they were Stardust and Goldust. It was when they were Cody and Goldust. That was
like,
fucking
with the shields.
that was
fucking awesome.
special, man.
Yeah.
And then New Age Outlaws were around again.
They popped up again.
There's just like Billy and Chuck. There's another fucking great tag team from 2002. 3-minute warning.
Yeah. What's it called? Jamal and Rosie.
Yeah, 3-minute warning.
Yeah. I was looking up today as part of my research. All the winners of the Real World Tag League All Japan. You know, like in 1999-2000, All Japan split and 90% of the roster went off and formed Noah.
Yeah.
And you should have seen the winners after the split. It was like Jamal and Chris Candido. And like, it was just this random.
Chris Candido is fucking amazing.
No, but
man.
can you picture him in a tag team with Jamal?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was all these mad combos. And no, that wasn't the tag team. It wasn't Candido. It was someone else, like, that you wouldn't put Jamal with. But like, Jamal was a deadly wrestler.
Who was Candido with in TNA? Was it the Naturals?
I don't remember.
I think Aaron Stevens and some. I don't know. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe it's the Naturals. They kind of had a hard foundation kind of look to them. Yeah. So I don't know where do you? We've named a lot of tag teams.
We've gone through an awful lot of tag teams.
We've gone through a lot that
and so,
immediately spring to mind when we're talking about tag teams. Now we're definitely forgetting tag teams.
oh yeah, and we're forgetting like chronology of events.
WCW. Do they have a lot of tag teams?
Well, we brought in Harlem Heat and the Outsiders, probably the two most.
Steiner Brothers.
Steiner Brothers, Road Warriors.
The Hollywood Blondes.
Oh, we've meant to mention that.
Yeah, but that's because you're looking back on the stuff now because you're a big fucking man.
Yeah, and they were actually the tag team champions when my dad bought me the annual.
Lovely. See? In ECW, what, you had Public Enemy? Is that who
Yeah,
who
Deadly.
we're forgetting about?
Deadly.
Was it Just Incredible and Lance Storm? They had a tag team.
They did the really interesting gimmick where what was their gimmick? Was it that they hated each other, but they weren't, like, if they lost, there was some stipulation in there.
I don't know.
So and they kept having to try and like help each other win and stuff.
Oh, I thought Lance Storm and Just Incredible were proper friends. Or like
Was it? Yeah. But
I think maybe you're thinking of someone else.
it's definitely Lance Storm anyway. He had a tag team partner where they had this really weird gimmick. And
Lance Storm had a gimmick?
yeah, like he was feuding with his own tag team partner, but
That's original. Here.
there was a twist to it that made it better than the can these guys coexist?
Is there do you keep up to date on independent wrestling? I know you've been living in Dubai.
Yeah, relatively.
Irish wrestling?
Up to about 2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
Kings of the North are
They're
fucking
deadly.
awesome.
Yeah, I seen them at a couple of OTT shows.
Like, they are awesome.
I'm actually going to the next OTT show. Scrapper.
Scrappermania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with you and
Are you going with me?
and
not
our
going with you.
Marky friend Almar.
Oh, Almar, Marky
Yeah.
Mark.
Massive Mark.
Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Kings of the North are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Damien Corvin is amazing. And Bonesaw plays his fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
Fucking class. He's a big, beefy
But,
dad.
like, they've been awesome for
youngs.
6-7 years.
Yeah. Stalwarts of
OTT.
OTT, yeah.
And probably other
Other promotions, ICW and other
ICW,
rubber
yeah,
there. I just love to see him get a
and
shot at stuff.
I'd love to see them. They have a great look as well.
Yeah.
And they're probably too old now to get a shot.
You being ageist.
I know. Well, look, I'm too old to get a shot now.
I'm too old. I'm only starting training again and I'm 34.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
we should have a tag team.
we should have
The
it.
Beefy Boys.
The Beefy
The ba-ba-ba. We're the BBs. We're the BBs.
Are, in conclusion, the Beefy Boys are the greatest tag team of all time.
No way. You wanted to kind of go into, say, fucking Mega Power stuff.
Yeah, like, I kind of excluded all those as well as not being real tag teams.
Not a fucking real tag team.
The tag team is a vehicle for the
Listen here.
singles stuff, you know?
Hulkamaniacs. Any fucking tag team the Hulk Hogan was in was
not a real
nothing.
tag team.
Only to serve fucking Hulk Hogan. He didn't give a fuck
Who was the
about
two-man
Macho
power
Man.
trip to serve?
Huh?
Who was the two-man power trip to serve?
Hulk Hogan. right? It was only to serve fucking hulky fucking Hogan.
Poor
Because
Brutus
he knew that Triple H was gonna fucking do his fucking leg in.
Quad knee, whatever
Was
it
gonna come back, have a big baby face comeback, so Hulk Hogan could fucking beat him for the title.
Yeah.
After he beats Chris Jericho. Hogan knew that.
Yeah.
See, that was for Hogan's benefit, right? Hogan didn't give a fuck about Macho Man Randy Savage.
No.
Didn't give a fuck about Bruce the Barber Beefcake. Didn't give a fuck about the NWO.
No, it was all about him.
Didn't give a fuck about Edge.
Are you trying to take the heat off Martin with the Hulkamaniacs?
He didn't give a fuck about the Hulkamaniacs. He didn't get. You know why
You
John
didn't give
Martin?
a fuck about John Martin.
You know why? Yeah, that's why John Martin hates him, because he was fucking there at Wembley when Hulk Hogan said he was there, and he was standing outside Wembley with his little Hulkamaniac t-shirt on and his little Hulkamaniac bandana and his little Hulkamaniac Fu Manchu.
I think John was about 15 at that stage as well.
No, he wasn't. He was a little Bobby Martin. He was a little Bobby Martin, and he was there, and he was like waiting for his autograph to be signed. But Hulk Hogan wasn't at Wrestling or SummerSlam 1992, was he?
Wasn't there.
He wasn't fucking there.
Wasn't there.
He didn't fucking show up. Why didn't he show up? Well, who knows? Who fucking knows? And John didn't know, and that's why he doesn't like you, Hulk.
It's fair. I totally zoned out there.
He
for
didn't
him, yeah.
fucking. Balls Mahoney was a gent when I met him.
Yeah. And you know, everyone, once you mention Hogan, the next name out your lips is generally Balls Mahoney.
I'm a balls a maniac. That's what I am.
Right. Who's your greatest tag team?
Dudley Boyz.
I'm going to go Edge and Christian. Closely followed by
Don't you fucking say it.
the Young Bucks.
You're a pretentious little fuck. You know
They're
that?
awesome.
No,
They
they're
are
not.
awesome.
What's awesome about?
I love their...
Talking about OTT, they came and pissed all over us fans when they showed up in OTT.
When they did the 6-man.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was like real gimmicky.
It was all fucking fun and games. We paid good money to see you do flip spice.
Yeah, do some fucking
Do
flips,
some
man.
fucking mad flips there.
Why aren't you flipping?
I brought up a load of friends. I was like, you should see this Kenny Omega and fucking
Then he's
Young
doing
Bucks lads.
a
Hey.
sharpshooter with a microphone. in his
Yeah,
hand.
they're like, you watch this shit?
Yeah, I didn't go to that. No, I wasn't at that.
I was at it.
Yeah, I just think the Young Bucks, like, you know, they are.
Why Edge and Christian? Their
They-
run isn't that long.
It's long enough. 4 or 5 years. It's 5 years anyway.
So, like, they can't be
4
considered.
years?
But then again, Stone Cold's run wasn't that fucking long
No,
either.
Stone Cold was on top for 5 years, like.
Yeah, The Rock's run wasn't that long.
No.
Mick Foley's run wasn't that long.
Yeah.
You look at them. Fucking Kofi Kingston has been in WWF.
More tenured than Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Like nearly double Stone Cold's
Like, if
tenure.
you look
over
at
it.
Like, if you look at, like, I don't think there's an argument to be made of who's more important or better, Roman Reigns or Stone Cold Steve Austin. The answer is Stone Cold Steve Austin. But, like,
That's not the question we're asking.
no, but what I'm saying is, Roman
Just
Reigns
when you think you
has-
have all the answers, Morrow changes the questions.
Roman Reigns has main evented like 10 more WrestleManias than Stone Cold. You know what I mean? But, like, so I don't think in all cases the longevity of the run is super important.
It's the impact.
Impact.
So the impact
It's just
that Edge
from-
and Christian
It's
had
not
on
even
tag,
their impact on tag wrestling.
because
I just fucking loved watching them.
they were broke up by 2001.
1, 2, yeah. And
So
they
it was
got
only
together in 97, 8.
97
Yeah,
when the Brood happened.
yeah.
98 blah blah blah. Then fucking really hit their stride in 99.
Yeah. 2000 was an iconic year from 2001.
Minute of flash photography in 2001. Then Edge won the King of the Ring, did he? Yeah, because
yes.
Brock Lesnar won 2002. So Edge won the King of the Ring, and then they split up.
Yeah.
Around the invasion.
And I just
That was the storyline around the invasion.
was,
I think.
yeah,
Christian
yeah.
was getting pissed off.
yeah, because
And it
Edge was starting his.
Christian,
that was
at
fucking
last
great as well, wasn't it?
on your own.
And then they both had like they were a tag team where both guys came out as singles and were both awesome.
Yeah, but Christian wasn't treated seriously.
It was no, but when he went off TNA and did Captain Charisma, man, Captain Charisma.
Look at Christian in any ladder match and watch that poor fella fucking flatten himself against the
He's
ladder.
a lunatic.
It's
isn't he?
brilliant.
Yeah.
And then he had Tyson Tomko.
Yeah.
That was great. And then he goes to TNA and he's
And
fucking
he's
great over
doing
there.
career best work now in AEW at the moment.
Yeah. But like, are you looking at it with rose tinted? Edge
I-
and Christian,
yeah, probably.
greatest tag team of all time.
Probably not.
Like if-
my
if-
favorite.
Oh yeah, okay. But who's the greatest then?
Fuck. I've researched for 9 hours today and I never considered answering.
Techno Team 2000.
Yeah. I go greatest tag team of all time. I will go with Pat Patterson and Red Stevens.
You fucking piece of shit. You piece of shit. I genuinely don't have an answer. I know.
No, it's impossible.
I know who I enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Like, yeah, maybe.
But I know who's probably given me like my favorite moments.
Yeah, and they're different things.
It's probably the Dudley Boyz.
Yeah. So then you go to Dudley Boyz.
I loved the Dudley Boyz growing up.
Yeah.
Cause like, if you don't know us, all the wrestlers that I said I liked, like Vader, like Mick Foley,
Yeah.
like JBL,
Bam Bam, you
like,
said.
like Bam Bam, like the Dudleys. They're all a bit chubby.
Yeah, they're a bit chubby.
They're all a bit chubby.
Yeah.
And I was the little chubster growing up.
I like the long
That's
hair.
the rose, baby.
I like the long haired ripped guys, Edge of Christian, because I've
That's what you were like when you were 6.
yeah,
Just,
I've long hair and I'm ripped, blonde.
I like the chubsters.
So yeah, there you go. 2 greatest tag teams of all time: Edge and Christian and Dudley Boyz.
Yeah, we didn't really go far from the fucking apple cart, did we?
No, and close third is Young Bucks.
Special
I'm
shout out
glad
to
we
Deuce and
agree on
Domino.
that.
I'd put fucking Young Bucks in with Deuce and Domino. I would.
I'd put Deuce and Domino in with
Him with a deuce in the toilet.
yeah. That's about the
Poor
level.
Sin Snuka. He never got a fucking proper shake of the whip after he fucking nearly crippled the Undertaker at WrestleMania 25.
Fair.
He did.
No, it's fair. Like he should.
What about Manu, the forgotten member of the bloodline?
I fucking totally forgot about.
He was bring him back. Yeah, you could change his name. People won't even realize. Call him put Manu
They
backwards.
do that all the time.
Unam
Fatu.
Unam Fatu.
Fucking
Boom.
beast.
There you go. Another member of the bloodline.
Yeah.
Fucking pulling them out of everywhere.
We can drag that story on for another year.
Fucking Nia Jax should be in the bloodline.
That's another 2 years of storylines
With
for
Nia Jax. She wins the Queen of the Ring. She's the tribal queef. I was about to say Queen and Chief.
I know.
It's the tribal queen.
The tribal
chief. Call her the tribal chief. It's 2024 tomorrow. Grow the fuck up.
You can have an intergender match with Roman Reigns where they monologue at each other for several minutes on end.
She took a sick RKO off Randy Orton in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Fair fucks to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we didn't break any
we don't have an
ground
answer.
Here. We just talked about.
We did 2 hours or something on tag team wrestling where we didn't give you any answers. It was more of a kind of a reminiscing session, wasn't it?
That's what all these are.
Yeah, good.
Maybe that's why no one listens. Or maybe it's Dunphy's fault. Because we seem to do better every time Dunphy's not here. So.
I know, yeah. So this is the real one. I was going to, like, maybe I'm the draw.
You are the draw. What about the draw? The OTT, the draw.
What's that?
They're a faction in OTT.
Actually,
I really like the Gymnasties, which is before the...
That was a cool name.
Go check out OTT on demand if you want to get a full history lesson on OTT.
And come meet us at Scrapper Mania in August.
Yeah, say hello to us.
Yeah.
Say hello. Maybe not to me, because I am...
Say hello to Dunphy.
Prick.
Say hello to Dunphy.
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah, he loves it.
He fucking pestered.
Yeah. No.
Don't talk to Dunphy at OTT. I have a story to tell. I don't think he'd appreciate me saying on this podcast.
It can't be said on air.
No. He's lovely, and they're all lovely,
nice
and
guy.
Alan's lovely, and he's actually the most sociable one of us all.
Yeah,
so.
go talk to Alan.
Go talk to Alan. But thanks very much for listening to the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show Tag Team Extravaganza. It sounds like a fucking Chat GPT road. They use extravaganza and everything.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Not that I use it that much. Look at the description below. Look at the description below.
Do you know what? Get ChatGPT to do your comments and then copy and paste it below.
Yeah. Leave some comments. If you're watching this on TikTok, or if I clip this part, which I probably won't, fuck y'all. Nah, I'm only messing. Thanks very much. I really appreciate people that reach out, subscribe to the channel. Lots more long-form documentaries coming in next while as well. You're writing one on...
Mick Foley, the Kingmaker.
The Kingmaker. I know. Yeah, that's a cool premise, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing one on JBL.
You know what? I'm really
The
appreciating...
wrestling guy.
Like, I really appreciate more now than I think I did at
It's
the
one
time.
of those retro things, but
Yeah.
I liked him at the time.
I loved Eddie at the time.
He
so
one of them chubby boys.
Another big chubby boy.
He one of them chubby boys, just like I was.
With a good lariat.
Yeah, well, he had a nice little fucking lariat. That you'll get in your throat, baby. I love me a bit of JBL.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Well,
Apparently not. No,
terrible man.
But we're
terrible
lovely.
person.
We're lovely. You're lovely. Thank you very much for listening to the Wrestling Fan and Wrestling Show podcast, wherever you may be listening. Rate the podcast, like, subscribe. It really helps the channel. Hopefully, we're going to have some merch soon as well. If you want to buy some merch, let us know. Thanks very much. I'm Shane. He's Morro. Say goodbye, Morro.
Bye.
Go fuck yourself.